to Sweetart Make, Bake and Decorate tutorials. Today I'm going to show you how to make some delicious red velvet cupcakes. Now red velvet has become a very popular flavour lately. A lot of customers have been asking me for this particular flavour. It's kind of a cross between vanilla and chocolate, so I hope you will try it and have a taste of this really yummy recipe. Okay, join me soon. Okay, so let's get started with these red velvet cupcakes. The ingredients that you will need: half a cup of butter and half a cup of oil, 2 cups of granulated sugar. You can add a little bit less if you like a less sweeter cupcake, 2 cups of plain all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, half a cup of coffee. If you don't want to add the coffee, that's fine, but the coffee does add a nice little flavour and brings out the chocolate in these cupcakes, so it is nice if you can to add the coffee. 1 cup of buttermilk. Now if you don't have buttermilk available in your supermarkets, you can just use 1 cup of regular milk and add in 2 to 3 teaspoons of lemon juice or vinegar, 2 eggs. If you want to make this recipe eggless, you could substitute the eggs with yogurt, 2 tablespoons of yogurt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence. We're going to add some red food colouring, about 1 teaspoon, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda mixed with 1 teaspoon of vinegar. So I'm going to put firstly the butter and the sugar and the vanilla into my mixer, and we'll give that a really good mix. Okay, so let this mixture beat really well, the butter and the sugar, because having this light and fluffy will make your cupcakes light and fluffy, so it's a really important step. The next step is to add the eggs in one at a time, so I'll continue the mixing and I'll just add these eggs in. Okay, so you can see how nice and light and airy that is. It's also fine to mix it a little bit longer once you add the eggs in, because that will also incorporate volume into your batter and again make the cupcakes really nice and fluffy and soft. So I'll just show you, give that a bit of a mix. See how light that is, that mixture. Okay, so the next step is to add the flour and the cocoa and the salt and the baking powder. That's all I've just mixed that all together, so we'll just put that in. And then after you add the flour, remember, do not overbeat it at this stage, just beat it a little bit. So we'll put in the flour, cocoa, baking powder and salt. Okay, so let's give that another little mix, and I'm going to slowly pour in this coffee, and also I'm going to add in a teaspoon of this red food colouring into my buttermilk, so we can add that in as well. And this will give a lovely red colour to the red velvet cupcakes. So while this is mixing, I'll pour this in and I'll also pour the coffee in. Okay, and last we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of vinegar. So I'll just mix that together now and add that. So let's put them into the cases. So we have our cupcake batter here. I'm just going to fill these cases about 3/4 full. This quantity, this recipe makes probably around 24 cupcakes, so it's quite a big recipe. So if you want less, you can halve it. If you make a little bit of a mess like that, just clean it up before you put it into your oven. Otherwise what happens is sometimes those little bits go all dry and they might even start smoking. So I'll clean it up before I put it in. Okay, so our cupcakes are all ready to go into a preheated 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit oven, and they're going to bake for about 20 to 25 minutes. So just check them at around 20 and if they spring back when they're touched or a skewer comes out clean, then they're ready. But you don't want to over bake these because they'll just go a bit dry. So let's pop these in the oven and then I'll show you what they look like after about 20 minutes. Here are our red velvet cupcakes just out of the oven. So you can see when you press them lightly on the top, they bounce back, and that means they're cooked. And also if you insert a skewer, it comes out perfectly clean. So they're perfectly cooked, and that's been just under 20 minutes. So here are the cooked red velvet cupcakes. I've just taken them out of the oven. It's just been under 20 minutes. You can see as I'm pressing down on them, they're bouncing back, and that indicates that they'll be cooked. And you can also insert a skewer into the middle, and then you will see that it comes out perfectly clean. So that means they're cooked. So join me in the next tutorial where I'll show you a cream cheese icing, which is the perfect combination to go on top of these lovely red velvet cupcakes. And I'll just slice one of these in half for you shortly to show you what they look like inside. So let's take a look inside one of these beautiful cupcakes and see what they're like inside. Light, very, very light texture, beautiful, and they're hot from the oven. So I'll just want to show you the inside. It's moist and soft and fluffy. So you can see the texture inside is beautiful. And it's a lovely red colour, chocolatey and vanilla at the same time. So it's a very nice combination of the two flavours. And the baking soda and vinegar at the very end add a very unique taste. And it's very, very popular now, this red velvet recipe. So I do hope you will try it. Thank you for watching.